Hey, we're back, and it's off the record, which means we can let our hair down. We can take glasses off, you know, get a little loosey goosey. We're going to continue with the wide receiver conversation. We're in the middle of our top five of all time. I think top three. I think everybody got Rice and Moss, at least one and two. Then three, four, and five probably personal. So,
Yeah,
like I said,
I totally agree with that.
I look at people like Paul Warfield, that don't get enough credit. Wes Chandler dominated for a minute. John Jefferson dominated, for a minute. But as far as longevity, you got to go T.O. Moss and Rice. So, Ben, I want to know your top five.
So Moss, I'm sorry, T.O. was not in my top five. So I got Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Calvin Richardson, Larry Fitzgerald, because
Calvin Richardson
have to.
I'm sorry, Calvin
Johnson.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about music. My bad. I'm out here making R&B songs.
No Larry Fitzgerald.
I got Larry Fitzgerald, and I got
Marvin on our list.
Yeah, who?
Be quiet. I'm about to
Who's your last one?
So I got Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson, Marvin Harrison, and Larry Fitzgerald.
That's it. Three, 4, and 5 are basically,
Like I think 1 through 3, everybody's in some union. Like they're all close. We're all on the same page.
How do you not have T.O. in there though?
I don't think T.O.'s. I'd take Marvin Harrison over T.O.
Yeah.
Would you take Marvin Harrison over T.O. without Peyton Manning?
Then you asking me would I take T.O. without Steve Young?
He didn't have Steve Young as long as Marvin Harrison had Peyton Manning.
But he had him.
How long did he have him though?
He had him long enough. Like
what are their numbers? Isn't T.O. third? And what is he? Third in touchdowns or second in touchdown?
I don't know the exact numbers.
I'm not knocking Marvin Harrison, but he played with a top.
Marvin Harrison had a great career with Peyton Manning.
No doubt.
A great career. T.O. had to deal with Steve Young, late.
Jeff Garcia, understand that.
Jeff Garcia.
that's the same argument you would have if you throw Art Monk in the conversation. Because Art Monk had Joe Theismann, Jay Schrader, Doug Williams, Mark Rippon, Stan Humphries, Kerry Conklin, and all those guys in the mix.
That's why I would take Art Monk over Marvin Harrison. I
think Marvin Harrison was more electric, and that's the only reason I take Marvin over like Art. I think Art was. It's shameless to say it, but I think Art was the guy that did all the right stuff. Like he would give you it wasn't exciting, but he would make the plays that you need to make.
First down.
I think like he'd get you the first down. He'd get you whatever. But I think the difference was Marvin Harrison was a little bit more explosive than Art was. And that's really the only reason I would hold them in different spots on my list. I just think we got certain players that are in place, and then I think the problem that we're gonna have as this wide receiver argument goes on is guys like Paul Warfield, Charlie Taylor, they're gonna fall off not because they're not good enough, they're gonna fall off because of numbers. Because we're gonna get to a point where the numbers are so egregious and so out of shape that it doesn't make sense that they're even in the conversations with these guys.
That's why I look at these two things: yards per catch and the ratio of catches and touchdowns. Am I saying that right? If you look at those yards per catch and that, the wide receivers back then are better than the receivers today. Just look at just look at those two numbers. Paul Warfield, Lynn Swan, Wes Chandler, John Jefferson. It's ridiculous. The numbers, I mean, it's ridiculous.
But we're also talking about an era where the yards per catch are so different because we throw the football on different levels. Like, we throw a football now for a screen. We throw a hook. We throw whatever before we throw the 20-yard in, the 18-yard out, or whatever it is. That's where things get different.
Jack, what was you about to say, Steve Lardner?
Nothing. Thought he was a high-ranked all-time receiver. That's all.
No, I like Stevie Lardner. He's another one. I mean, he played for a expansion franchise and put up hell of a numbers. Got his ass beat for years before he even Seattle first made the playoffs in 84, I think. 84?
Yeah, I think that's the beginning of the I think they didn't really hit their stride until Chuck Knox got there. So it might have been a little bit later than that.
82. They made the playoffs. 82 was right short of the season.
Okay.
Miami,
Seattle did?
Yeah, they played Miami like the game before the AFC Championship game. The Jets played Miami.
Because then they got Kurt Warner and some of those guys.
Yeah.
Anytime, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I posted a clip in the Sideline Junkies. Anytime you guard a player like you're doing a punt return, if you put two corners on a dude like it's punt coverage, but it's an offensive play,
I saw
you
that.
can't tell me that dude's not like elite. He's not top 5, not top 10.
A jump ball he couldn't get.
He had 77 ball games. Well, he might have been there for all 77, but he was at like the clip of at least 60 ball games where he didn't have a 100-yard rusher in the backfield.
That's
so
why
there was nobody taking the pressure off of you guarding Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson got his numbers because Calvin Johnson was that dog. He was that beast. Whether he was injured, whether he was hurt, whatever you want to call it, CJ got his numbers because he was CJ.
That's why I
would argue.
Tyreek Hill in those covers, because you just can't throw it up to him, and he's gonna. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna moss nobody. He's not gonna Megatron nobody. With all due respect, he'll run past you, but trust me, defensive coordinators back in the day, they'd take his little ass out.
There's a play where I think they're playing the Bengals or the Browns. I can't remember, but I know it's orange helmets. He's running a post. He runs past the linebacker who's supposed to have the deep middle. He jumps up, and there's the corner, a safety, and the other corner jumping up with him. And Calvin Johnson comes down with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't understand. Like, people act like Calvin Johnson is like a fly by night. No, he was the focal point of the offense. Like, Stafford had only one option.
Go to Calvin Johnson.
Yeah. It's like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they was like, get the ball to Will. That's what we talking about.
I remember that.
Yeah, but
and I will argue this to the
because he didn't win because he didn't win anything.
Huh?
He's not gonna go overlooked, but in a sense, he's not gonna get the credit he deserves because he didn't win anything.
You called him Megatron.
Yeah.
Think about that. He's Megatron. He ain't Optimus Prime. He's Megatron. The greatest villain, one of the greatest villains of the world.
Megatron, it sounds like something you can dismantle. How about
No,
the
Megatron
freak?
sounds like it's like something
The
that you
freak.
shouldn't mess with.
The freak.
Right.
I'm gonna be more scared of a freak than a Megatron.
Exactly.
So
I
I'm gonna
don't
be
know,
more.
I don't know what we're arguing here, but yeah.
And then earlier when we was talking about Cooper Kupp, I think it was before the commercial. You got to think about it though. That season he had when they won the Super Bowl and he set the records and all that. That was like a dream season he had, you know.
And he still puts up numbers.
Yeah,
Still puts up numbers. And he blocks. And he goes all out all the time. And you know why I like Cooper Kupp? He ain't a damn diva. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not a diva. Why? That's another thing. Why are wide receivers divas? When they need the fucking quarterback to throw them the ball.
That's why they're divas.
You know what I'm saying? Month wasn't a diva.
You know,
Month.
like to see McLaren.
I mean, come on.
Hutchins wasn't a diva. Marvin Harrison wasn't a diva.
Yes, he was.
Nah.
No. So everybody says, "Oh, Marvin Harrison wasn't a diva," but Marvin Harrison was a diva. Marvin Harrison went back to Peyton and told Peyton, "I need the football." Like, he was quiet about it. He just wasn't one of those dudes that like danced in the end zone. But yeah, he told Mark, if we ever had access to like the off field or the sideline tapes, like when they talked about that infamous scene where not Marvin, but when Peyton was yelling at Saturday for calling run plays, like if we had more access to that type of stuff, there's a situation where Marvin Harrison told Peyton to get him the damn ball.
Hey, all these years,
Dude, it's natural. It's natural.
Somebody, there's got to be some tape somewhere. It would have been. They find tape on every goddamn thing.
Dude, it's the position, dog. I don't care what you tell him. I mean, what's our boy, Mike Thomas?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Mike Thomas. If we were in our leagues playing ball, he came back to the huddle 10 times out of 10 telling somebody he was open.
Mike, I mean,
tell you facts.
Mike is Michael Irvin. So
yeah, yo. So like let's not like wide receivers, whether the level doesn't matter. But I'm gonna tell you that, yeah, these jokers they'll come back and tell you all the time they wide open, is boom, hit me with the pass, hit me with the play, whatever. That's all I'm saying.
I wish your boy KG was on here, because I might piss some fans off, and I'm a diehard Redskin fan. Okay, diehard. Devin Hester was inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm fucking tired of hearing? And like I said, I am a diehard Redskin. You know what I'm fucking tired of hearing? Brian Mitchell. It's called the Hall of fucking Fame, okay? Not the Hall of Very Good. Not the Hall of I played a long ass time. Okay? The Hall of Fame. Brian Mitchell, he's supposed to be there for that. Why? They say he broke Devin Mitchell, my man
He had
Devin
the
Hester.
second most yards from scrimmage of all time. He was the leader in return touchdowns until Devin Hester broke his record.
Mm-hmm. All you gotta do is look at Devin Hester's first 2 years. Hall of Fame. Damn. It's his first 2 years. Just in his first 2 years, this man is a Hall of Fame. Brian Mitchell, how long did it take him to achieve the return? I'm talking just return, okay? I'm not talking about all the combined yards, because Devin Hester made the Hall of Fame as a returner. And everybody keeps saying Brian Mitchell, all right? Look at Devin Hester's first 2 years. It's ridiculous. And then after his first year, Devin Hester spent his whole career people kicking the ball away from him. Okay? I don't remember people kicking the ball away from Brian Mitchell, and I've watched every damn Redskin game that shit since I was 10 years old. Like I said, I love the Redskins. I love Brian Mitchell. But him over Devin Hester as far as Hall of Fame, come on, man. It's not even close. It's not even close. Not even close.
No, it's close. I think the difference is that we saw, like, I think Devin Hester was at the change of how we looked at sports. So, like, Brian Mitchell's returns didn't get the same luster and the same love that the Devin Hester returns.
You know why? Because they was kicking to.
Hold on. Just hear me out. Give me 1 second, and I'll let you have this the rest of the way. Because I think at the time when Hester was making his returns, we also had Dante Hall. Like, we had like this flux of guys making returns. So, like, the kick return game got like a special thing in that space of time. So I think that's why Hester resonates more than a Brian Mitchell does. Because Brian Mitchell the other thing about Brian Mitchell was Brian Mitchell's returns weren't special. Because he ran straight up the field. It wasn't like he didn't juke anybody. He kind of juked some people, but he didn't do a lot of juking. It wasn't like this big thing. It was mostly, all right, I catch the ball, I'm going to go up the field, boom.
If you're in my way, I'm going to run your ass out.
Spectacle. It was more of a spectacle with Devin Hester. So that's why I think Devin Hester gets like more of a return, more love from fans and more love from people in the sports world, is because it's like, I'm watching dude, he's making these moves, he's making these people miss. Brian Mitchell just really ran straight. And that's the difference.
Straight. Hey, go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, Brian Mitchell, and then Mike Nelms before him. I really enjoyed Mike Nelms, and he was a conference leading, possibly league leading kick punt returner. But that's the thing with Hester. He was dominant as both kick returner and punt returner. I mean, he's the only guy.
But he didn't play anything else.
Say again?
He didn't play anything else well. So, like, the argument from the Brian Mitchell side of it is Brian Mitchell was at least an adequate running back. He also had punt and kick returns. But
okay, so
hold on. Hester was not a decent receiver, and he wasn't a good enough cornerback. So, like, Hester was mostly just a kick returner. And I think that's where the argument from the Brian Mitchell people come from, is because Hester couldn't do anything else but return kicks. He wasn't a legitimate.
That's what he's in the hall for.
He wasn't a legitimate running back. He wasn't a legitimate wide receiver. He wasn't a legitimate corner. He was just a kick returner at his truest essence. And for Brian Mitchell, I mean, he's got all-purpose yards, and for him to be the guy behind Jerry Rice in terms of all-purpose yards, you have to respect that in some level. But it's amazing how the Washington players have to jump through hoops to be legitimized or legitimate in the eyes of the people in the Hall of Fame. There's a tackle from Minnesota named Gary Zimmerman who was literally on the same lines as Joe Jacoby, but for some reason he's in the Hall of Fame, but Joe Jacoby isn't.
Joe Jacoby's going to get in there. He's going to get in there.
Well, I hope that
Devin Hester. You said Devin Hester didn't do nothing else. Okay, that's what he went into the Hall as. Returner. He was the best that ever did it. Brian Mitchell wasn't. That's the difference.
But before Devin Hester, Brian Mitchell was the best returner ever.
Was he?
Why wouldn't he be? He held the record for the most returns.
That makes him the best ever. Is Emmitt Smith the best running? Is Emmitt Smith the best running back ever?
Hold on. So if I hold the record for the most return touchdowns as a return specialist, I shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
No, you say he's the best.
I mean, let's go to James Arthur Monk. James Arthur Monk was had the most receptions for the stretch or time that he was in the league. He had 820. He broke Steve Largen's record.
Again,
that's not enough for him to be in the Hall of Fame.
One Hall of Fame. Okay, let me emphasize the word fame. Okay, we talking greatest returners of all time.
Let me talk about
most people. I would be willing to say 95 to 99% of people, Ryan Mitchell's name not going to come up. You know whose name going to come up? People going to say Billy White Shoes Johnson. They definitely going to say Deion Sanders. Ryan Mitchell ain't going to be the first Redskin name to come up. I'm going to say Darrell Green and Mike Neal. You know why? Because it's fame. It's not very good. Okay? Ryan Mitchell, if there was a hall of consistency, okay? It was bring your hard hat and show up for 14, 15 years, and you hit a return every two or three years here. That's what Ryan Mitchell did, man. His returns were set over the years. Okay? I think he went from 93 to 98 without a return for a touchdown. So when people, I mean, again, I'm Ryan, Redskin fan, love him, but I can't stand. And I'm gonna name another player that gets on my damn nerves when they say he should be in the Hall of Fame. Gary Clark. Do you think Gary Clark should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
I do.
He's got better numbers than Michael Irvin. There's like a stretch where hold on. There's a stretch in the 80s where it's, and this is
Jerry Rice and Gary Clark.
Hold on. It's Gary Clark, Andre Rison, and Jerry Rice, where like they have a certain number of catches and a certain number of touchdowns over a certain stretch.
Yep. Know what I'm gonna ask you? You know what I'm gonna ask you?
What you gonna ask me?
Did Jerry Rice and Andre Rison have a Hall of Famer on the other side?
That's why it makes it better.
That's why. That's why he got open. Hold on.
Time out. Andre Rison didn't have a Hall of Fame quarterback. He never had a Hall of Fame quarterback. He had Chris Chandler. He had Jeff George. He had Bones.
Okay, Gary. When Gary Clark was playing, who was on that other side? James Arthur Monk. Who was the main focus? James Arthur Monk. Soon as Gary Clark left the Washington Redskins, what happened to his career?
So you're telling me, hold on. So your argument is, so then Reggie Wayne doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
Reggie Wayne did good after
No. You telling me that Reggie Wayne doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame? Because he was on the other side of Marvin Harrison.
I would put him in over Gary Clark.
No, by your argument, he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Chris Carter shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Who?
Chris Carter.
Come on, man.
No. By your argument, I'm sticking by your argument. Your argument is if the guy on the other side of you is good, then you should be in the Hall of Fame. And he had Randy Moss. He had Randy Moss on the other side of him.
He has a track record without Marvin Harrison. Chris Carter definitely has a track record without Randy Moss. What is Gary Clark's track record without Art Monk? Garbage. He went to Phoenix, garbage. Then he went to Miami, ended up his career. It was over. He thought he was a top receiver. He wanted to get there. I can't catch Jerry. I remember the end. I'm gonna catch Jerry either. It's different when you got a Hall of Famer on the other side and you're not the number one. I didn't say that they wasn't focused on Gary Clark, when James Arthur Monk is on the other side, yeah, you're going to catch a lot of passes. Okay. He saw he saw what Alvin Harper saw when he left the Dallas Cowboys, and he thought he was a top receiver. How did that work out for Alvin Harper?
Go ahead, Jack. I hear you. I see you.
You guys to talk about this for 12 days, 6 months, 5 years. Got to agree to disagree on this one, I guess. Everybody's got their opinion, and that's what I like.
But that's what I'm saying. It's called, people was like, when I said, I remember saying Drew Pearson was a way better wide receiver than Gary Clark. Well, look at the numbers. What is Gary? Okay, let me see. Gary Clark. I'm trying
Gary
to think
Clark
of
numbers are better than Drew Pearson's. Because we're talking about different eras.
Gary Clark was never considered the number 1 or number 2 receiver ever in the NFL. Drew Pearson was considered either
number 2. So you saying Ricky Sanders was number 2?
No, I'm saying Gary Clark was never considered the number 1 or number 2 receiver in the whole NFL. Drew Pearson at one point was either 1 or 2. It was either him or Lynn Swann in the 70s.
We're talking about eras where the wide receivers at their best, they caught 500 passes.
Yeah, he didn't dominate his era. He wasn't the top guy in his era. Nobody looked at Gary Clark and said, because they was looking at Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice and Sterling Sharp and Chris Carter. Those were the top. And Art Monk.
Oh, let's take us a couple steps back. So you're telling me that Drew Pearson wasn't a top 1 or 2 person in the league when we're talking about a league where it was like Tony Hill, Steve Largent didn't get there to the 80s. So in the 70s, who were the top receivers?
Swann.
The top 2 receivers were 88. They took it was either Lynn Swann or Drew Pearson. Take your pick. Just like the top 2 quarterbacks in it. It was number 12. It was Rod Staubach or Terry Bradshaw.
Okay. I don't know. I totally agree with this argument, but okay.
Because Gary Clark, he wasn't even the best receiver on his team.
Okay. I just don't mean as a person. I don't see this thing where people were like
I want you to go.
Changing their defenses for James Arthur Monk, who was a possession wide receiver.
I want you to go look at some YouTube 70s. Watch Dallas Cowboys versus Atlanta 1980. Watch Dallas Cowboys versus Minnesota.
I'm telling you that I just don't see where
Gary Clark has no signature. I mean, no playoff, no major. I mean, what? That's what I'm saying. It's called the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so what was our Monk thing? Hold on, now you're going to a place. Let's go. I'll be your Huckleberry on this one. So Art Monk, he wasn't a part of the first Super Bowl. So he didn't catch a pass or a touchdown in '87. The only touchdown he caught was in '91.
No, he didn't catch one in '91.
So where was his Super Bowl touchdown catch?
Don't have one.
So what makes him a Hall of Famer in your regards of talking about top receivers having top plays in top situations? Where's Art Monk in that situation? Because Gary Clark,
everybody that was calling them games.
34,
1986 against Chicago. Jay Schrader.
No, we're not talking about playoffs. No, we're not talking about playoffs. We're talking about Super Bowls. Gary Clark and Ricky Sanders got Super Bowl touchdowns.
Gary Clark and Ricky Sanders. Cool. Great. Everybody, who was the number 1 receiver on that team? Everybody knows Art Monk. It was always Art Monk.
Hold on. Obviously, they didn't, because it took Art Monk 10 years to get into the Hall of Fame.
That's because of his personality. Art Monk didn't kiss no ass. He didn't give interviews. He was just Art Monk. Art Monk did his work and went on. He didn't
Okay.
give you nothing. But who got the big standing ovation in Hall of Fame history?
Okay. I mean, you want to go with
Tells
serial
you that tells you how Art Monk
No,
is
that just tells
revered.
you how many fans from Washington was there.
No,
That's what it tells you.
People was calling Hall of Fame Art Monk before he even went to when he was playing. Oh, he'd be in Canton one day. I never heard that shit about Gary Clark.
Okay.
Never. Jack, you think Gary Clark to be in the Hall of Fame?
No,
Hey,
no.
you think he was better? You think he was better than Drew Pearson and Lynn Swann?
Neither.
Hell no. Be the what?
He was Robin, you know what I mean? He wasn't Batman.
There you go.
All
But
right. So then,
sometimes
why
you
is
gotta put
John
both.
Stallworth in the
No.
Hall of Fame?
Uh,
John
when
Stallworth
this
is Robin. Why is he in the Hall of Fame?
On
he
the
was
Hall
just
of
as
Fame
he was just as good as Lynn Swann.
Okay.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, I tell he might be the best wide receiver in Pittsburgh Steelers history.
Okay.
Lynn Swann made all the great catches. The fame, see, people leave out the fame. It's Hall of Fame, not all I got very good numbers. You know who's gonna
we
Yeah.
gotta have a conversation on this way more than what's going on right now.
You can't put Vinny Testaverde in the Hall of Fame. You think we're 40
No,
over
we're not
40,000
doing that. We're not doing that.
Put it in there. Y'all, that's why numbers don't tell the story. Don't tell the whole story, do it.
No, but we said that before.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. All right, damn. What else would I love to say?
Nah,
Yeah.
let's just walk over
Frank
there.
Gore. Frank Gore is going to the Hall of Fame, but is Frank Gore really a Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the top
Frank
10
Gore.
rusher in the. If Curtis Martin is in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
Frank
Oh,
Gore
he's
should be in the Hall of Fame.
38 years. God damn, he should be.
Okay. Well,
Where's the fame in Frank Gore's career? I'll wait. Where's the fame
what?
at?
you know what? We do what we do
A
on
lot
the
of
other
touchdowns.
side of the Clip Productions Network. We do what we call a pin, and I'm gonna put a pin in that, and we come back to it later.
Hey, y'all got anything else to say before we roll out?
I was puzzled to see Randy Gradishar on there. Why is it taking that long for him to get in?
Hey, it takes sometimes. He got in on a what committee they call that?
The senior committee.
Yeah, Why did it take so long for Drew Pearson to get in?
But I'm saying he was the original Iron Man. He didn't miss a game.
Look how long it took Drew Pearson to
The
get in.
senior committee.
Yeah, my big orange crush was something back then.
Fucking Drew Pearson had to wait almost 40 years, 30 years? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. All right, y'all, we're gonna wrap this up like a Christmas gift. And Ben said we're gonna put a pin in it. I'm ready, Ben.
Oh,
Yo,
Lord.
ready.
never.
I'm ready, buddy. You and KG and was it BG? What's his name?
BJ.
BJ. Let me know. Come
All right,
on there.
It's on.
Boost
Yeah,
y'all.
you wanted to come up against the bloodline. We're gonna take it to wrestling terms.
This was called Off the Record. As you can see, it's a little more fire in it. So we're going to leave you like we always leave it, whether you like it or don't like it. Gary Clark is not a Hall of Famer, y'all. I'm sorry. But learn to love it. We'll see y'all next week.